Commander Alan Wright took a deep breath as he walked down the long, crystal hallway of the Galactic Council chambers. The alien architecture always made him feel small, which was exactly what the Council intended. After 75 years of Earth being part of this interstellar government, humans were still treated like children who had accidentally found their way to the adults' table. Today, that would change. Alan's footsteps echoed as he approached the massive chamber doors. His communication device buzzed. Dr. Olivia Martinez's face appeared on the small screen. "Are you ready?" she asked, her dark eyes serious. "Once you deliver this message, there's no going back." "Earth has been ready for 20 years, Alan replied. "We've been patient long enough." The chamber doors slid open silently. Inside, representatives from over 200 alien civilizations sat in rising tiers around a central speaking platform. The air smelled faintly of ozone and strange spices, the mixing of atmospheres from dozens of different worlds. Alan walked to the center platform. He could feel the dismissive stares. After 75 years, most council members still viewed humans as barely more than clever pets. Councillor Zix Tar, the blue-skinned Andromedan who seemed to particularly enjoy blocking Earth's proposals, leaned forward with a bored expression. "The representative from Earth is recognized," he said, his translator making his complicated language sound flat. "Please be brief. We have important matters to discuss today." Alan nodded politely. "I will be very brief, Counselor." He pressed a button on his wrist device, and the official Earth symbol appeared on all the chamber's screens. "I am here to inform the Galactic Council that as of this moment, Earth is formally withdrawing from all Council agreements, treaties, and obligations." The chamber erupted in noise. Some representatives laughed. Others shouted questions. Zixtar silenced them with a raised hand. "Earth cannot withdraw," he said simply. "Your planet depends on Council protection. Your technology is insufficient for independence. Your trade relies on Council networks." He smiled, showing too many teeth. "This is obviously a negotiation tactic to gain attention for some minor issue." Alan's face remained calm. "This is not a negotiation. For 75 years, Earth has contributed revolutionary medical techniques, efficient energy systems, and unique scientific perspectives. For 75 years, our proposals have been dismissed, our people treated as inferiors, and our resources exploited through unequal trade agreements." He looked around the chamber. Earth asked repeatedly for equal treatment. The Council refused. Now Earth is leaving. Supreme Councilor Vexmore stood from his high seat. His ancient, gray-skinned face looked troubled. "Commander Wright, please reconsider. The defense systems protecting Earth from the Gavalax raiders and the Horde incursions are Council technologies. Your withdrawal would leave your people defenseless." Alan allowed himself a small smile. "Earth appreciates your concern, but it is unnecessary." He touched his device again. The screens changed to show Earth's solar system. Suddenly, massive structures appeared around each planet, structures that had been hidden by technology unknown to the Council. "For the past 50 years, Alan continued, Earth has been developing our own technologies. We've built defensive and manufacturing capabilities throughout our system. We've created energy sources and weapon systems beyond Council standards." The room fell silent. Alan could see shock and disbelief on many alien faces. "That's impossible," Zixtar whispered. "Our monitoring systems would have detected such development." "Your monitoring systems see what we allow them to see," Alan replied simply. Outside the chamber windows there was a rumble. The Earth Embassy, a massive structure attached to the Council station, was changing. Sections were splitting and reforming. What had appeared to be an architectural feature transformed into massive engines. The entire Earth Embassy was a disguised starship. Alarms began to sound throughout the Council station. Alan remained calm as chaos erupted around him. "Earth has respected Council laws despite unequal treatment," he said loudly, cutting through the noise. "We've shared some of our advances but kept our true capabilities private. We hope the Council would eventually treat us as equals." Admiral Samuel Baker's face appeared on the screens. Behind him, Earth's orbital defense platforms were becoming visible, dropping their camouflage technology. "The Earth fleet is ready, Commander Wright," Baker reported. "All Earth citizens have been evacuated from Council space." Several counselors were shouting now, demanding explanations, making threats. Some were rushing to communicate with their governments. "How many ships do you have hidden?" Vexmore asked quietly. "Enough," Allen answered. "Earth has enough ships, enough weapons, and enough resources to stand alone if necessary. We've developed technologies the Council has never imagined." The embassy ship's engines were fully online now, glowing with strange blue energy that several Council scientists were frantically trying to analyze. "Why reveal this now?" Zixtar demanded. "Why not use these advances to demand better treatment?" Dr. Olivia Martinez appeared on the screen beside Admiral Baker. "Because we wanted to see if the Council would recognize our worth without threats," she said. "You failed that test for 75 years. Allen stepped down from the platform. "Earth is open to establishing new, equal relationships with individual Council worlds. President Powell has authorized me to begin such discussions immediately with interested parties." He walked toward the exit as several smaller Council members rushed to follow him, already eager to establish separate agreements with this suddenly formidable human power. "This meeting isn't adjourned," Zixtar shouted, but his authority seemed to be evaporating as quickly as Earth's embassy was disconnecting from the station. Allen paused at the door. "One last thing," he said, turning back. "Those defense systems you thought were protecting Earth? They've actually been limiting our capabilities, monitoring our communications, and restricting our development. Without them, humanity will advance even faster." From the windows, everyone could see the Earth Embassy ship now completely separated from the station. Its hull shimmed and changed, revealing weapon systems and technology that should have been centuries beyond human development. As the ship prepared to depart, communication requests flooded in from dozens of worlds, all suddenly interested in separate alliances with Earth. The economic, military, and political balance of the galaxy had shifted in a single hour. Commander Allen Wright smiled slightly as he left the Council chambers for the last time. Humanity had been patient, strategic, and had kept their true strength hidden until the perfect moment. Now the species that had been dismissed as primitive would reshape the galactic order. Burnain. Panic was just beginning. The Earth Embassy ship glided smoothly through space, its engines emitting a soft blue glow that puzzled Council scientists. Dr. Olivia Martinez stood at the command center viewing window, watching as the Council station grew smaller behind them. She had waited decades for this moment. "Status report," she requested calmly. "All systems operating at optimal capacity," replied the ship's AI. "Council vessels are maintaining distance but tracking our course. 7 have attempted to scan our technology. All scans have been redirected." Commander Allen Wright entered the command center, his face showing a mixture of relief and tension. "It's done," he said. "After 75 years of being treated like children, we've finally shown them who we really are." Olivia nodded. "And how did they take it?" "About as well as we expected. Shock, disbelief, and then panic." Allen smiled slightly. Counselor Zixtar looked like he might burst a blood vessel. A communication alert sounded. "President Powell is calling from Earth," the AI announced. The large screen at the front of the command center activated, showing President Gregory Powell in his office beneath the Rocky Mountains. The presidential office had moved underground, decades ago part of Earth's secret preparations. Commander Wright, Dr. Martinez, Powell greeted them. "Well done." The Council's reaction? "Complete surprise, Mr. President," Allen reported. "They never suspected our true capabilities. Already 17 Council species have requested private talks." Powell nodded. "Exactly as we predicted. Is the Phase 2 reveal ready, Dr. Martinez?" Olivia stepped forward. "Yes, sir. Vice Admiral Ford's stealth fleet is in position. On your command, we'll activate the Terran shield and reveal our orbital infrastructure." "Proceed," Powell ordered. "It's time the galaxy sees what humanity is truly capable of." The screen split to show Vice Admiral Kate Ford on the bridge of her command ship. Unlike the ornate council vessels, Earth's military ships were sleek, practical, and deadly efficient. "Vice Admiral Ford, you may decloak the fleet," Olivia instructed. Ford nodded. "About time. My crews are tired of hiding." She pressed a sequence on her command console. "Deactivating phase shift technology now." Throughout the solar system, hundreds of advanced warships suddenly appeared. They had been there all along, invisible to Council detection systems. Around Earth, massive defense platforms materialized in orbit. On the Moon, enormous hangar doors opened, revealing shipyards that had been hidden beneath the lunar surface. In the outer solar system, the moons of Jupiter and Saturn transformed as hidden bases activated. What had appeared to be natural satellites were in many cases carefully disguised military and manufacturing facilities. Back on the Council station, alerts were blaring as their sensors finally detected the true extent of Earth's power. Emergency sessions were called. Military advisors were summoned. Economic forecasts were hastily recalculated. Councillor Drev, one of the few who had treated humans with respect, watched the sensor feeds with a knowing smile. Years ago, he had warned the Council not to underestimate the humans. Now his warnings had proven true. "They've been patient," he murmured to himself. "So remarkably patient." In Earth's orbit, Dr. Martinez gave the order to activate the Terran shield. A faint blue energy field expanded from transmitters around the planet, growing until it encased the entire Earth in a protective bubble. "Shield strength at 100%, reported a technician. The simulation was correct, it's stable. On screens across the galaxy, news of Earth's revelation spread. Images of the human fleet and defenses caused panic on worlds that had dismissed humans as primitive. Stock markets crashed on Council worlds as investors realized how dependent many industries had become on human innovation. In his private chambers, Supreme Councilor Vexmore reviewed the information with growing alarm. The humans had not just built defenses. They had created technologies unknown to even the most advanced Council races. "How did we miss this?" he asked his advisors. "How did they hide so much for so long?" An intelligence officer stepped forward nervously. "Sir, preliminary analysis suggests they've been feeding us false data for decades. They showed us what they wanted us to see." Vexmore slammed his fist on the table. "Impossible. Our monitoring systems are foolproof." "Evidently not, sir," the officer replied quietly. On Earth, in the huge underground complex beneath Geneva, the diplomatic corps prepared for the coming negotiations. Ambassador Nicole Daniels, who had spent years enduring the condescension of Council representatives, now sorted through incoming communication requests. "Everyone wants to talk now," she remarked to her assistant. "Funny how quickly attitudes change when they realize we've been holding back." In the Mars shipyards, now visible to Council observers, General Richard Hayes inspected the newest additions to Earth's defense fleet. These ships incorporated technologies that Earth scientists had developed but kept hidden, propulsion systems that defied known physics, weapons that could pierce any known Council defense. "Are the Jupiter battalions ready?" Hayes asked his second-in-command. "Ready and eager, sir. 20 years of drills and secrecy. The troops are looking forward to operating openly." Back on the embassy ship, Commander Wright received a private message from Councillor Drev. "I always sensed your species was special," Drev's message read. "The Council's arrogance has cost us dearly. Many worlds are now questioning Council leadership. This could reshape the galaxy." Alan smiled as he composed his reply. "That was always the plan." Dr. Martinez joined him carrying data tablets. "The Council is scrambling to understand our technology," she said, "especially the phase shift systems and the antimatter production facilities on Titan." "How long before they realize those are just the technologies we're willing to show them?" Alan asked. "They may never realize how much we're still keeping in reserve," Olivia replied. "That's our insurance policy." As Earth's hidden power continued to reveal itself across the solar system, the galactic balance of power shifted dramatically. Species that had aligned themselves with the Council's dominant factions now sought new alliances. Economic forecasts were rewritten. Military strategies were reconsidered. Humanity had transformed overnight from a dismissed newcomer to a galactic superpower. And they had done it not through conquest or aggression, but through patience, secrecy, and strategic thinking. In the darkness of space, Vice Admiral Ford's flagship, the EDS Defiance, led a formation of advanced warships past Neptune. For decades, these ships had trained in silence, hidden from Council observers. Now they flew proudly, their Earth insignia clearly visible. "Send the message to all Earth forces," Ford ordered. "Operation Independence is complete. The era of pretending to be less than we are is over." Throughout the solar system, humans celebrated their emergence from the shadows. The long deception was finally over. 3 days after Earth's dramatic exit from the Galactic Council, Lucas Chen sat at his desk in the new diplomatic headquarters in Geneva. The room was filled with holographic screens showing different alien representatives, all waiting for his attention. As Earth's chief negotiator, he had never been busier. "Ambassador Daniels is ready with the Rigelian delegation," his assistant informed him. Lucas nodded. He took a moment to review the file on the Rigelians. They were a proud trading species who had been neutral in council politics. Their interest in separate agreements with Earth was purely economic. "Connect us," he instructed. The main screen activated, showing Ambassador Nicole Daniels and 3 tall, golden-skinned Rigelians. "Chief, Negotiator Chen," Nicole greeted him formally. "The Rigelian Trade Coalition has an interesting proposal regarding the spice routes near the Orion Arm." The lead Rigelian stepped forward. "Earth's withdrawal has disrupted shipping lanes controlled by Council regulations. We propose a joint venture. Your new phase shift technology would allow cargo ships to avoid Council checkpoints entirely." Lucas smiled politely. "An interesting proposal, but I wonder why Earth would partner with a species that stood silent while the Council restricted our growth for 75 years. The Rigelians looked uncomfortable. The leader spoke again. "Business is business. Politics is politics. We always respected humans. Respect is demonstrated through actions," Lucas replied calmly. "What are you offering beyond access to shipping routes that our technology can now bypass anyway?" As the negotiations continued, another drama was unfolding in Council space. Supreme, Councillor Vexmore had called an emergency session to address what many were now calling the Earth crisis. The Council chamber was noticeably emptier than usual. Several species had already recalled their representatives for private discussions about Earth's revelation. "Order," Vexmore called, his voice echoing in the chamber. "We must present a unified response to Earth's actions." Councillor Zixtar stood, his blue skin flushed with anger. "The humans have deceived us all. They should be punished, not negotiated with. I propose immediate sanctions." Laughter came from Councillor Drev. "Sanctions? With what leverage? They've just shown they don't need our trade routes, our technology, or our protection. They've been self-sufficient all along." "Impossible," Zixtar snapped. "No species advances that quickly." "Unless they were deliberately hiding their progress," Drev replied. "A strategy they adopted because of how this council treated them." The debate grew heated as more councillors took sides. Meanwhile, on the screens around the chamber, economic data showed markets across council space in free fall. Industries that had relied on human innovation were collapsing. Trade routes that required Earth's participation were disrupted. Back on Earth, President Gregory Powell addressed the United Earth government from his underground office. "For 3 generations, humanity has hidden our true capabilities," he said, to the assembled leaders. "We endured condescension and unfair treatment because we understood the strategic value of being underestimated. Today that strategy has paid off." The room erupted in applause. These leaders had all been part of the deception, keeping Earth's true progress secret from the wider galaxy. Already, 17 council species have approached us for separate alliances, Powell continued. "Our position is simple. We will partner with those who recognize us as equals. The days of accepting second-class status are over." In orbit above Venus, General Richard Hayes watched as a council scout ship approached the new defense perimeter. Earth sensors tracked its every move. "They're scanning our facilities on Venus," reported his lieutenant. Let them look, Hayes replied. Those are the technologies we're willing to show. The real advances remain hidden. The lieutenant smiled. Like the quantum tunneling system? Hayes nodded. And the gravity manipulation drives. The Council thinks our phase shift technology is advanced. They haven't seen anything yet. On a distant Council world called Proxima II, news of Earth's revelation had sparked riots. The local species had been told for generations that their technology was superior to Earth's. Now, as images of Earth's hidden fleet and defenses spread, that lie was exposed. The Council deceived us, shouted protesters in the streets. How can we trust their claims about other matters? Similar scenes played out across Council space as ordinary citizens questioned what else their leaders might have lied about. The BO. Political fallout was spreading faster than Council authorities could contain it. In the Mars Diplomatic Center, Ambassador Nicole Daniels finished her meeting with the Rigelians. They had agreed to far better terms than they initially offered, desperate to establish ties with the newly revealed human powerhouse. That went well, she remarked to Lucas Chen as his hologram appeared in her office. They're all the same, Lucas replied. Yesterday they ignored us. Today they can't wait to be our friends. Speaking of friends, Nicole said, checking her secure tablet. The Altarians have requested an immediate alliance. They're bringing their entire fleet out of Council space. The Altarians were known for their advanced sensor technology. An alliance with them would be valuable. Approved, Lucas decided. But make it clear that we expect full technological exchange. No more one-sided agreements. Throughout Earth's solar system, the military remained on high alert. Despite Earth's overwhelming display of power, Admiral Samuel Baker suspected some Council hardliners might attempt a show of force. His suspicions proved correct when long-range sensors detected a Council battle group changing course toward Earth. 6. Heavy cruisers and support vessels, reported his tactical officer aboard the EDS Vigilance. They'll reach our outer defense perimeter in 48 hours. Baker nodded calmly. Inform Vice Admiral Ford. Move the Jupiter Defense Fleet to intercept position, but keep them in phase shift. Let's see how close these Council ships want to get before they realize they're surrounded. On Earth, Dr. Olivia Martinez walked through her underground laboratory complex. For decades, her team had developed technologies that remained hidden even from most humans. Now she was preparing to reveal the next phase of advancements that would cement Earth's position. Is the antimatter production facility ready for demonstration? She asked her assistant. Yes, Doctor. The facility on Titan is producing at 100% capacity. Council scientists still believe antimatter can only be created in small amounts. When they see our production levels, Olivia smiled. Another carefully crafted misconception falls. Schedule the demonstration for visiting delegations next week. As the third day of Earth's independence came to a close, the galaxy continued to adjust to the new reality. The species that had dismissed humans as primitive now scrambled to understand how they had been so thoroughly deceived. The economic and political structures built on Council dominance began to crack, and Earth, patient and strategic, continued to reveal just enough of its power to keep the galaxy guessing about what else humans might be hiding. Director Frank Sullivan moved silently through the shadowy halls of Earth's intelligence headquarters, deep beneath the Australian outback. For 50 years, he had overseen humanity's most closely guarded secret, a network of spies and information gatherers spread throughout Council space. Status update on our agents, he requested as he entered the central command room. His deputy director, a woman named Linda Pearson, activated a holographic display showing hundreds of dots of light spread across a map of the galaxy. All agents accounted for, sir, she reported. 78% have successfully activated their emergency protocols and gone to ground. The rest are maintaining their covers within Council infrastructure. Sullivan nodded with satisfaction. And Operation Mirror? Linda's expression became one of pride. A complete success. Council security systems still have no idea we've been accessing their databases for decades. Their attempt to lock us out after the withdrawal failed completely. Excellent. Sullivan studied the galaxy map. What's the status of the Council? Battle group approaching our space? Still on course, sir. They'll reach Jupiter's orbit in 12 hours. Sullivan touched his communication device. Admiral Baker needs to be updated. This could be our first military confrontation. In the vast emptiness of space near Jupiter, Captain Diana Miller stood on the bridge of Earth's flagship, the EDS Defiance. Through the view screen, the massive gas giant loomed, its swirling storms a backdrop to the drama about to unfold. "Status of the phase shift system?" she asked her tactical officer. "Operating perfectly, Captain. We're completely invisible to Council detection methods. The rest of the fleet is also in phase shift, positioned exactly as Admiral Baker ordered." Diana nodded. Her ship and 20 others were arranged in a perfect ambush formation, yet undetectable to the approaching Council vessels. Years of training in secret were about to be put to the test. "Communication from Admiral Baker," announced her communications officer. Baker's face appeared on the main screen. "Captain Miller, intelligence confirms the Council fleet continues its approach. Their communication suggests this is intended as a show of force, not an actual attack. They're in for quite a surprise then," Diana replied. Baker's expression remained serious. "Remember your orders. No first strikes. When they cross the defense perimeter, drop phase shift and reveal our presence. Let's see if they're willing to risk a conflict when faced with our true capabilities." "Understood, Admiral." As the Council battle group approached, another confrontation was taking place in the Council chambers. Councilor Zix Tar had called for a vote on military action against Earth. "The humans have violated Council law by concealing their technology," he argued, his voice rising with emotion. "Their deception threatens the foundation of our galactic community. We must force them to rejoin the Council and submit to proper oversight." Councilor Drev rose in opposition. "And how exactly do you propose to force a species that has just revealed military technology beyond our understanding? The battle group you've sent is more likely to provoke a conflict we cannot win." The chamber erupted in angry shouts and arguments. Supreme Councilor Vexmore struggled to maintain order as more representatives took sides. "The vote will proceed," Vexmore finally declared. "Those in favor of military action against Earth?" Before the vote could be taken, an aide rushed to Vexmore's side, whispering urgently in his ear. The ancient councilor's face paled. "This session will recess immediately," he announced, his voice shaking slightly. "What is the meaning of this?" Zixtar demanded. Vexmore looked around the chamber, his expression grave. "I have just been informed that 17 member species have formally announced their withdrawal from the Council. They have formed a new alliance with Earth." The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Nearly a fifth of the Council's membership gone in an instant. Back on Earth, Dr. Eliza Johnson stood in the control room of the antimatter production facility, hidden beneath the lunar surface. For decades, she had told the Council that humans could only produce antimatter in tiny, almost useless amounts. The truth was very different. "Energy output stable at maximum capacity," reported her chief engineer. "The Council delegation will arrive in 20 minutes. Eliza smiled. "Let's show them exactly what humanity has been capable of all along." The facility hummed with power as it produced more antimatter in a day than the Council had believed possible in a year. This revelation alone would reshape galactic energy policies and economies. Near Jupiter, the Council battle group crossed the invisible line that marked Earth's declared defense perimeter. Captain Diana Miller gave the order every ship in her fleet had waited years to hear. "Drop phase shift. All ships reveal." In an instant, 21 Earth warships appeared, surrounding the Council vessels in a perfect ambush formation. The Council ships' sensors blared warnings as they suddenly detected the massive firepower aimed at them. "Open communication channel," Diana ordered. The face of the Council fleet commander appeared on screen, his alien features showing shock and alarm. "This is Captain Diana Miller of the Earth defense ship Defiance. You have entered Earth, Sovereign. Space against our explicit warnings. Power down your weapon systems immediately, or we will consider this an act of war." The Council commander hesitated, clearly stunned by the sudden appearance of so many advanced Earth vessels. "We were told Earth's defenses were exaggerated," he said finally. that your withdrawal was a bluff. Diana's expression remained neutral. As you can see, that assessment was incorrect. What is your response? After a brief consultation with his officers, the council commander gave the order to power down weapons. We will withdraw to council space. Please accept my apology for this misunderstanding. As the council ships turned to leave, Diana received another communication. This one from Director Sullivan. Excellent work, Captain, Sullivan said. Our agents report that news of this encounter is spreading throughout council space. The images of your fleet appearing out of nowhere have been particularly effective. The council's military authority is crumbling by the hour. Throughout Earth's solar system, similar scenes played out as more council delegations arrived to witness humanity's true power. Each carefully orchestrated demonstration further eroded council influence and strengthened Earth's position. In the Geneva Diplomatic Center, Lucas Chen received word that 7 more council species had requested alliance talks. The council is falling apart faster than we anticipated, he told President Powell during their secure evening briefing. Powell nodded thoughtfully. Generations of planning, and it's happening even more quickly than our models predicted. Are we ready for Phase 4? Ambassador Daniels has the alliance framework prepared, Lucas confirmed. The first 17 former council members are ready to sign. With the next 7, we'll control nearly 30% of galactic trade routes. And the technology sharing provisions? Limited to what Dr. Martinez has cleared. Our most advanced systems remain exclusively ours, Powell smiled with satisfaction. Then proceed. By this time next week, I want the Sol Alliance formally established as a counter to council power. As Earth's carefully crafted plan continued to unfold, the galaxy watched in awe and fear. The species that had been dismissed as primitive was rewriting the galactic order without firing a single shot. 1 month after Earth's withdrawal from the Galactic Council, the newly constructed Alliance headquarters on Earth's moon stood as a symbol of humanity's transformation from underestimated newcomer to galactic power. The massive structure, built with technology that had been hidden for decades, gleamed in the sunlight as ships from 24 alien worlds arrived for the historic first summit. President Gregory Powell stood at the observation window of his office, watching the diplomatic vessels dock. Each represented a former council world that had chosen to align with Earth. Quite a sight, remarked Admiral Samuel Baker, who stood beside him. 1 month ago, most of these species barely acknowledged humans when passing us in council corridors. Powell nodded. Amazing what a show of strength can accomplish. Is security in place? The entire lunar complex is protected by our most advanced systems, Baker confirmed. Director Sullivan's team has screened every delegate thoroughly. No council agents will penetrate this meeting. Across the solar system, Earth's military remained vigilant. The confrontation near Jupiter had ended peacefully, but intelligence suggested council hardliners were still pushing for military action. Captain Diana Miller's fleet patrolled the outer system, a visible reminder of Earth's new power. In the Grand Assembly Hall of the Alliance headquarters, humans and aliens mingled as final preparations were made for the summit. Dr. Olivia Martinez moved through the crowd, noting with satisfaction how different the atmosphere was from council gatherings. Here humans were treated with respect, even deference. A tall, gray-skinned alien approached her. Dr. Martinez, he said, his translator converting his complex language. The antimatter production technology you showed us last week is remarkable. My world would gladly trade our gravity manipulation advances for such knowledge. Olivia smiled politely. All technology sharing will be formalized through the Alliance agreements, Delegate Thorne. But I'm pleased your scientist found our demonstration impressive. Elsewhere in the hall, Lucas Chen and Ambassador Nicole Daniels prepared for the formal treaty signing. 24 flags representing the founding Alliance members were arranged behind the main podium. The Council is sending a last-minute delegation, Nicole informed Lucas quietly. They're requesting observer status at the summit. Lucas raised an eyebrow. Interesting. After weeks of threats and condemnation, they want to observe. Who's leading their delegation? Supreme Counselor Vexmore himself. Lucas considered this news. President Powell should be informed. This could be a genuine peace overture or simply an intelligence-gathering mission. In the reduced council chambers, now with many empty seats where former members had once sat, Councillor Zixtar paced angrily before the remaining representatives. "This is humiliation," he shouted. "First, the IA. Humans deceive us, then they steal our members, and now we're sending Vexmore to their victory celebration." An elder councillor replied calmly. "Would you prefer war with an enemy whose full capabilities we still don't understand? Our intelligence services have confirmed that what Earth has revealed is likely only a fraction of their true technology." Zixtar's blue skin darkened with emotion. The humans must have had help. No species advances so quickly on their own. "Perhaps," the elder councillor suggested, "it is simply that we underestimated them so severely that any realistic assessment now seems impossible." Back at the lunar complex, the Alliance Summit formally began. Representatives from all 24 member worlds gathered in the assembly hall as President Powell took the podium. "Today marks a new chapter in galactic history," he began. "For too long, the Council system has allowed certain species to dominate while others were marginalized. The Sol Alliance offers a different vision, one of true cooperation and mutual respect." The delegates applauded. Many had chafed under Council restrictions for centuries but lacked the strength to challenge the system until Earth provided an alternative. "Each member of this alliance brings unique contributions," Powell continued. "Earth offers its technological innovations, particularly in energy production, phase shift systems, and quantum computing. Others bring expertise in medicine, agriculture, and cultural achievements. Together we will create a more balanced and just galactic community." As Powell spoke, Supreme Councillor Vexmore's shuttle docked at the lunar facility. He was greeted by Ambassador Daniels, whose composed expression gave no hint that this was once her superior in the Council hierarchy. "The President has agreed to meet with you privately after the opening ceremony," she informed him. "We appreciate the Council's willingness to establish diplomatic relations with the Alliance." Vexmore's ancient face betrayed little emotion. "The galaxy is large enough for both our organizations, Ambassador. Conflict serves neither of us." In the command center beneath the lunar surface, Director Frank Sullivan watched the exchange through security feeds. "He's alone?" he asked his deputy. "Yes, sir. The Council delegation is small, just Vexmore and 3 advisors. They submitted to all security protocols without objection." Sullivan's eyes narrowed. "Keep monitoring them. The Council doesn't surrender this easily." The summit proceeded with the formal signing of the Alliance Charter. Each delegate approached the document, adding their signature or species-equivalent mark. The moment represented the birth of a power that now rivaled the ancient Council. Later, in a private meeting room, President Powell sat across from Supreme Councillor Vexmore. "I must admit," Vexmore said, his translator conveying his words with precise clarity, "that I underestimated humanity from the beginning. A mistake I deeply regret." Powell nodded. "A common mistake throughout Earth's history. Enemies and allies alike have often misjudged us. What I still fail to understand," Vexmore continued, "is why the deception? Why hide your true capabilities for 75 years? Would the Council have treated us as equals if we had revealed our rapid advancement?" Powell asked. "Or would you have seen us as a threat to be contained?" Vexmore was silent for a moment. "A fair question. I cannot say with certainty that we would have welcomed such rapid progress." "Exactly," Powell replied. "Earth chose patience over conflict. We observed, we learned, and we prepared. When the moment was right, we acted." "And now?" Vexmore asked. "Is the Alliance intended to replace the Council entirely?" "That depends on the Council," Powell said. "We are open to cooperation with those who recognize us as equals. The choice is yours." As the summit continued, Dr. Olivia Martinez led a select group of Alliance scientists to a secure presentation room. There, she revealed yet another technology that Earth had kept hidden, a communication system that operated outside normal space-time, allowing instant connections across any distance. "This will be the backbone of Alliance communications," she explained, a technology the Council believed impossible. In the Earth embassy that had once been attached to the Council station, Commander Alan Wright supervised the final removal of human personnel and equipment. The dramatic departure had been just the beginning of Earth's plan. Message from Luna Base, his assistant reported. The Alliance Charter has been ratified by all 24 members. It's official. Wright smiled. Inform the crew. We'll hold a proper celebration once we're back in Earth space. As the first day of the summit drew to a close, Earth's leaders gathered in President Powell's lunar office to assess their progress. 24 founding members, with 7 more applying to join, Lucas Chen reported. The Council has been reduced to barely half its former strength. Admiral Baker added, their military capabilities are similarly reduced. Multiple species took their defense fleets with them when they left the Council. And Director Sullivan's intelligence network confirms no serious military threat from remaining Council forces, Nicole Daniels noted. Powell looked around at the team that had orchestrated humanity's patient strategy. 75 years of preparation, 3 generations keeping our secrets, all leading to this moment. He raised a glass. To humanity's future in a galaxy that will never underestimate us again. Across the stars, news of the Alliance spread. Species that had dismissed humans as primitive now watched with uncertainty and respect, as Earth reshaped the galactic order through strategy and patience, rather than aggression. The universe had, indeed, been thrown into panic by Earth's revelation, but from that panic a new and more balanced galactic community was emerging.